Welcome down to the end of it.
Alright, guys.
It's good content, bro.
This is good.
It's good content,
music,
bro. It's good music, bro. Before they copyright us, bro.
Sorry, we had to do it with our mouse. We can't use the actual beats because
of course,
copyright,
bro.
YouTube is just so strict with their strikes and stuff. But anyway, let's get down to it. Since we're all talking about stuff like strikes and copyrights and fun stuff, let's talk about someone who has decided to
show up
and unalive everything.
Try to retire the subscription of certain people.
He has come to and retire their subscription by force. Imagine having a supervillain that is legit a serial killer. Like,
yes,
he's a serial killer.
Normal, go for the power with people like my friend here. His favorite superhero of all time, Batman.
Ew.
He has a couple of serial killers. They were serial killers.
Punisher is a serial killer.
He is a serial killer and he deals with them permanently.
But anyway, guys, today's topic, we're talking about the new MCU villain, or the villain of the Thor Love and Thunder movie,
which we are
looking forward to, because let's face it, the last one was great. So let's just say the new villain, Gorr the God Butcher. I prefer to call him Gorr the God Killer.
Sounds like some kind of high fantasy epic shit.
Gorr the God Butcher.
Something like a necromancer's title.
I'm telling
kind
you,
of thing.
like
either that or a WWE wrestler's name.
So let's get to it. Gorr.
But before we go forward, always remember, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be updated whenever new content comes your way.
Yeah, so anyway, let's get to it. Gorr the God Butcher, or I'm just going to say Gorr the God Killer. Y'all aren't going to stop me. So Gorr the God Killer.
Butcher sounds more awesome.
Okay, fine, either or, whatever. So Gorr, he didn't always start out as a vindictive alien who loved to run around the universe and murk gods, because that is all he does. Let's just say Gorr was initially introduced in the Thor
God of Thunder.
Introduced by Jason Aaron. Yeah, in 2012. That's when he first appeared. Thor, God of Thunder. He was an ordinary alien. He was a family man. And
Hey, Martha, come look. The family man's on TV.
Yeah, he was part of this group of aliens that lived in a desert wasteland, and
they are always praying
to gods, and they are fanatical.
They are always sacrificing themselves, but the gods never listened.
No, it wasn't like that for him. He started feeling like the gods weren't listening when his wife and children were taken from him. They died, and then he was exiled because he made a comment that why should he be praying when the gods cannot even save his children?
So he's an atheist, like atheist Bill.
Yes,
atheist Bill.
So that was the beginning of his problems. Like, not say his problem. Like, when he was cast away into the wastelands, he was walking, and then he stumbled upon a battle between two gods. Null, the god of the symbiotes, and another deity. And Null was butchering. Null has
to just null.
Null was just null. He was murking the hell out of this deity.
But who can beat those two people? Morbius, whenever he morbs all over them.
So anyway, like, during the course of the battle, I think what really repulsed Gorr about the gods was the fact that the god that was about to be killed was begging him for help. And I think it was begging Null, and Null used.
Null was dead as well.
Yeah, Null
was like plain dead,
plain dead. But so basically, he kills.
The god was asking him for, please help me. And I was like, all the time in my life, I was asking people for help, blah blah blah. You did not.
No, he basically dropped this mentality, which, if gods truly exist and they do not answer the prayers of their worshippers, then they do not deserve to exist. So after the deity was killed, he took up the blade.
He took the sword,
the all black sword,
the necro sword,
No,
it's the all black necro sword.
Yeah, but no, the sword is all black.
Yeah, it's a necro sword. That's the title, the all black necro sword.
Mm-hmm.
That Null, because of the symbiote god, that's the first symbiote he ever created.
Yeah.
So the necro sword, which we are going to definitely see in the movie, I mean, I saw a bit of it on the trailer anyway. But the all black necro sword is like this. It's just this sword that essentially functions like a Green Lantern ring, kind of. Like you're only limited by your imagination.
Yeah.
And Gorr used a piece of it or a sliver of it, then he uses it to kill this other god.
Yeah.
So as he kills this god, he becomes an adept at manipulating the necro sword.
Yeah. And it gives him a variety of powers.
He created an armor suit to even help him to even fly out of the planet.
Yeah, like he just gave him different powers: enhanced strength, speed, durability, immortality, regeneration, and flight. And
all of this is just the sword.
And this is all just from the sword.
On his own, Gorr is just a normal squishy person.
Yeah, he's a squishy person. I think his only perk is maybe he just knows how to interrogate and torture people because he does that. So Gorr now sets off on his crusade for total global ending of subscription of the gods.
Universal, not global.
Universal ending of subscription of all the gods. And this lead him to meet a young Thor in the Viking age.
Who's still brash, arrogant. This was before he learns humility, which Odin gave him.
So he and Thor basically meet, and he fights Thor and captures Thor and tortures Thor to find information. When Thor was younger, he tortures him to find information about the other gods on Asgard, but Thor somehow manages to escape, and he mortally injures Gorr.
He got what they call it. That's where he got back then Thor was not using Mjolnir. He had an axe called Jarnbjorn, and it had an enchantment on it which it kind of ties into an older story whereby the reason why Jarnbjorn has the ability to pierce celestial armor and thus injure Gorr is because he fought Apocalypse during that time period. So and Apocalypse wears celestial armor. So Loki kind of tricked him into gaining that armor that essentially getting that enchantment on Jarnbjorn. So that's why he could stand against Gorr. So he kind of pursues Gorr off.
And he thinks he kills him.
He thinks he has even killed himself actually. Then a whole couple of years later,
a millennia later,
essentially in our modern day, Thor has learned his humility. He's part of the Avengers. He's just flying around the universe.
And Gorr resurfaces.
And in the most fucked up ways possible. He went to a pantheon of gods essentially, and these gods essentially it used to be like a vibrant city. Gorr goes there, city is empty, not even a chirp. He moves through the library, he meets that pantheon's god of I think education or something, or literacy. You know what God did to this guy? He cut open his eyelids and cut his tongue and made him watch as he butchered every single god in that pantheon.
Bruh.
Like this is some hardcore metal shit.
And you know he's just a white.
He looks like a heavy metal character.
Because he's all like,
God Butcher sounds like a metal album. Let me tell you.
Like it literally takes Thor to unite with the young Viking age Thor
and old Thor from the future. Old Thor.
It takes all of them to unite with him, and bruh. See, Gorr captures some other gods and he forces them to make a massive WMD known as the God Bomb.
It's essentially multiversal nuke that will kill every single deity in the multiverse
in a single blast.
And it has one of my favorite Thor scenarios where Thor dual wields 2 Mjolnirs.
Like wait, before we get to that, like what it even took, like it took because Gorr, and this is where his downfall came from, he created a construct of his son Agar. His son, like basically he kind of brought his son back to life. But his son saw all the evil shit he was doing and was like, yo, this is not justified. What you are doing is wrong. And in fact, his son even goes an extra step to call him the god of hypocrisy. And I think the construct of his son Agar also helps Thor to survive the God blast.
Should I tell another favorite thing in this entire run, or when they introduced Gorr? When Gorr and Thor were fighting in modern day, that's like modern day Thor were fighting. 3 planets away were experiencing earthquakes. Their planet was shattering and everything. That's why anybody that would tell me that Kratos will beat comic book Thor, you don't know what you are talking about. You don't know.
Thor in the comic book, he's just a different type of heavyweight. It's just a different type of heavyweight. Like honestly speaking, Thor, I think Thor, he used Galactus' head as a gateway to he used the God blast on Galactus, and Thor is just a different monster, but Gorr was able to do that to Thor.
That Spartan Rage that Kratos has, man. I see you Spartan Rage, I raise you Warrior Madness.
Warrior's Madness. And Warrior's Madness is even forbidden.
It's
forbidden.
Kratos is not surviving. Like, the way Kratos like brutalizing, Kratos is essentially like Gorr.
Yes.
Kratos is essentially like Gorr.
And Thor is the answer to anything that wants to kill the gods.
That wants to butcher.
But anyway, basically, after Thor uses the two Mjolnirs to end the threat of Gorr,
the
Godbomb and Gorr, Thor decapitates him.
It's not. Thor is not a CCCC. I don't have a no-key rule. Like a certain rodent, La Rata Errada, got out.
He's not.
Just imagine if it was the flying rodents. Like, he can be rehabilitated.
We'll take him to Arkham. So anyway, like, man, after that happens, I think it also affects the battle wears on Thor mentally, because Thor starts to actually question himself and question the intent of the gods, which is a normal thing for Thor. Yeah,
like Thor constantly questioning himself is a normal part of his character. Because
he was questioning whether the gods were right after he fought Gorr, which now led to the events of the original scene in 2014,
where Thor becomes unworthy
to pick up Mjolnir.
What Nick Fury whispers into his ear was Gorr was right, and immediately Thor lost his worthiness.
He couldn't pick
it up.
But anyway, that saved Jane Foster's life.
Yeah, which even segues into Jane Foster's
own.
Honestly, it's actually Jason Aaron that wrote all of this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a long continuing story.
It's not just one, but it's very good, honestly speaking. And thanks to that, you guys are going to get, I bet you guys will get a wonderful movie. Once I saw that was the villain, I was like, yeah, I'm covering this.
I mean, Gorr even has a watermark. He's being played by Ethis Bale. American Psycho.
You imagine Christian Bale is
like very impressive. Very nice. Can I see his Mjolnir? Oh my god.
But that's not the last. But that's not the last you see. That's not the last we see of Gorr. Gorr will appear in the future again, and he will reignite his feud with Thor. And this time, I think it was future Thor and future Loki that combined to take him down. And then after that, they killed him, but then he was reincarnated as an ordinary man, an ordinary alien creature.
The entire future timeline now essentially is just fucked because of the battle with Gorr. Essentially claims the life of almost everybody in the universe.
He's a terrorist.
Then even after that, then Loki now claims the all-black Necrosword.
Yeah.
And it now becomes a situation where it's only a few people that are even left alive in the universe, Thor and his daughters. Like, that's messed. Look, if you think MCU Thor has suffered, just
go and read comic book. And again, there's something I want to just note, like, Null, the god of the symbiote god. His own mission was to use the all black and cover the universe multiverse in blackness. And he has been battling Celestials for eons. Do you think that in a way what Gorr was doing aligned with Null's motives?
Or I believe, this is a personal theory of mine, is that the Necrosword, because of the way symbiotes are, like when the symbiotes are sentient.
Yes.
So whenever symbiotes bond with somebody, a lot of times, if the person has a weaker will, it will dominate what that person's will is. Because one thing of contrast, Gorr prior to all of this, or even killing the god, was a very nice guy.
Yeah,
he was genuinely a passive nice guy.
Ordinary passive alien. I think it was just the loss of tragedy. I think it's one of his weaknesses.
It's grief, and he has
a lot of self-loathing. He has a lot of self-loathing.
That's why at a point, like at his core, he genuinely believes what his son, because his son is a construct. It is from his own imagination.
Yeah, so he believes what his son says to him.
That's why he generates it.
That's why he generates it. He hates himself.
Yeah.
And this is what grief can do to people.
If you don't process it properly. I mean, it's no any different from Injustice Superman. Injustice Superman is just like, I forgot which character said it, that this is just a long suicide letter, a long Sudoku letter.
But anyway, let us know what you guys think. Did we miss some things? Do you like Gorr? Are you excited for the new Thor movie like we are? Let us know in the comment section. Hit that like and subscribe button, and
good bless.